Hello, Commander.
I'll get this shindig started. So, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have Chrisj Shull versus the Moonboat crew, Tasbot. So, Venthesia. You guys saw this earlier. You saw the players kind of go. You actually saw the hardcore players, Kazipko and Admiral General, playing on this, and we saw Kazipko just kind of stomp Admiral General, as his air game was simply on point, as Admiral General was going for a very heavy bots style. Didn't work out in the end there for Admiral General, but it was quite interesting to see this, like how quickly can you kill me before I simply overwhelm you with docks. And as Kazipko simply stated, well, at about 20 minutes with all my bombers and I will snipe your comm. So hopefully we will see some sort of variation of that from Tasbot or Chrisj Shull. Again, we are on Venthesia, hosted by Andreas G. All of these maps have been created or have been created and updated by him, as the map maker community, very live and active. Always nice to see. There's always something new in the community map pool, though I don't personally like to use it because it scares me. And if I host a game with 10 people and then suddenly it just says, you know, 5v5 all welcome on the title, and then it's a comm boxing match with one medal in the middle, it's like, well, this is fun. It's kind of like Russian roulette with the custom maps. But with Andreas's map pack and a few of the others, Killer Kiwi, Alpha 2546, 8, 10, 12, always very solid maps, and I always definitely highly recommend that if you guys do have the Planetary Annihilation mod manager. If you happen to have that, I highly recommend that you get some of those maps. But that is besides the point, ladies and gentlemen. It is do or die for the man on the pip. But for the man on the main screen, we have MBC Tasbot going with a bot factory into double energy and going to start his slow reign to power. If he wins this match, ladies and gentlemen, Tasbot will become the new crowned king of the casuals for until the next tournament is hosted. But there's one man that says, nay, I will not let you win this match. I will win this one and then win the next. I will not go quietly into the night. It is Chrisj Shull, opening up with a bot factory into some energy, getting a little bit of air, and then vehicles. Interestingly enough, going for a vehicle factory here. So Chrisj trying something a little different. I like this decision, you know. Get a little bit crazy, spook the kid, you know. The problem with going vehicles is the biggest one is this is a very large planet. A lot of travel time to get from point A to point B, and if you want to try and, you know, use vehicles, you know, I mean, I like the decision because that will give him spinners, so he can place like 1 or 2 spinners in these really like bizarre places, so he'll never have to build anti-air turrets. But the problem with that becomes then, well, docks can kind of kill it. Well, docks can kill off either one either way. So, you know, it might just work out. We'll have to see. It's obviously going to greatly depend on how Chrisj handles. Obviously, that's how it always ends up being, is a game of who can micro their units the best. This is an RTS. This is a video game, and there can only be one winner. So let's take a quick little look-see here. So lots and lots of air. So it looks like both players taking a play out of the Kazipko and Admiral General match, and we will be seeing some serious air fights here, which I am perfectly fine with. The issue that I take with it, though, is there could only be one air winner, right? So the air units snowball very quickly against each other, and if one person starts to lose, they have to react immediately. It has to be, okay, I'm starting to lose my air game. I either need to add more air factories to either counter his his factory count that I just don't see, or I need to start dropping anti-air turrets and some spinners and Galaga turrets everywhere, so that his air units can only fight mine in a advantageous position for me. Okay, so it's going to be a very interesting start. This bomber contemplating whether or not he wants to kill the fabricator or the metal extractor. Picks the metal extractor and dies for his trespasses. we do see a lot of just kind of units setting up here as everything is just kind of starting to get underway. Air Fabricator actually out for Tasbot, an interesting decision to say the least. I mean, I like the decision. Mobility is very key on this map, and if you're using an Air Fabber, there is nothing nearly as mobile as an Air Fabricator. I mean, I think the only thing that's probably as good would maybe be a Fabricator in a Pelican, a Tier 2 Fabricator. Hot dog! It begins. We've got Tier 2 vehicles going up for Chrisj. Now, this might be to get the storms, which I am perfectly okay with. I would assume that if Tasbot is going as heavy as on the air as he and Chrisj have been, there's got to be something that can stop the storms, right? Or the bombers. And the answer to that is Tier 2 vehicles. The Tier 2 vehicles have a pretty solid unit known as the Storm, which fires a single mortar shell into the air, which explodes, doing very high fragment damage on any air unit in the vicinity. And Tier 1 units, they're pretty weak against Tier 2. And when you're firing AoE against a bunch of air units, which are also very flimsy to begin with, it's just a good day to be the Storm, the player with the Storm. And you know, I've definitely lost plenty of air units to things like that. So it does look like Tasbot, though, actually taking quite the economic lead here, though I do spy with my little eye some docks that are starting to push out here and starting to actually get some of those metal tractors. He is still floating quite hard, but oh, I raise your Storm one leveler, or one Tier 2 air factory. Interesting choice. The commander, I think, was supposed to assist it, but he is not. I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out. So we basically have a repeat of the Admiral General versus Kazipko match. As weird as it sounds, it's not Bombers versus Docks, but it's going to be Levelers and Storms versus Phoenix and Wyrams, it's going to be great. I'm actually quite excited to see. It's obviously Chrisj is still going to have a bit of an air game, as his ground units will need some serious cover. Docks just kind of being meddlesome, as is the usual, but it's going to be very important to see how Chrisj handles himself. So, levelers and bombers just kind of playing around, doing exactly the business that they do, and we do see some of the air units from Tasbot starting to organize themselves. Now, how many do we? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 air factories versus 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wow, so they're actually identical again. Quite interesting. Versus a Tier 2 air factory. The air factory is going to be the pivotal one, as if a player decides to well, I mean, Tasbot can basically just get Phoenixes and control the sky. I mean, Phoenix just counter Hummingbirds. Hummingbirds can overwhelm a Phoenix army, but obviously at a very expensive cost to the loss of the Hummingbird player. But we'll have to see what they decide to do. Very relaxed outside play. Of course, as I say that, there are some bombers killing off some... or not. Oh, bit of an engagement here, as the Hummingbirds from Tasbot do kill off... the Hummingbirds from Tasbot are killed off by the units of... Yeah, come on, please. Yeah, there we go, goodness. From Chrisj. Air units, I mean, it's going to be the name of the game, obviously. Everyone can see that now. But what's really interesting is that Chrisj has actually secured this little island for himself and is actually starting to get some vehicles planted down, which will be really powerful. Tier 2 air fabbers are basically Tasbot's only option. The only issue that I see with this is if he's ever, you know, just bum rushed by 500 Hummingbirds, that's his only Tier 2. So I would really like to see Tasbot possibly get some maybe Tier 2 vehicles or Tier 2 bots, you know, something on the ground just in case, because Tier 2 air fabricators, there are only 2 situations that you ever build Tier 2 air fabricators, and that is when you are alone on a planet, or that is when you are rushing catalysts for the pack system. It's just, you never, ever, ever really want to use Tier 2 air fabricators, especially in a 1v1 game where Hummingbirds and anti-air and just all kinds of bad news are the name of the game, essentially. There's plenty of reasons to not go it. So Tasbot definitely saying, well, I don't care about some little baby air units. And actually just flying around. I think he's just doing a little bit of scouting work right now. Yeah, these units are definitely just scouting around. Tasbot is just saying, okay, so, oh yeah, very good little scout on him. He doesn't see the, wow. Wow, that's very well done.
You're in critical condition.
Yes, congratulations. They're building. Okay, so the bombers and hummingbirds just kind of doing their business right now. The air units from, I believe, Tasbot might be in a bit of a pickle. And of course, the one time I moved the pip because I wanted to follow some of the air unit mobility. Oh, okay. So yeah, Tasbot is going pure air. He is not concerned about the ground army. He's saying, I have pure dominance over this air, and you will not challenge me. The problem is, Chrisj has quite a pretty solid air army right now. There's pretty solid air army right now, and the issue with this is if nothing happens, there's nothing there. Goodness. Some Phoenix are going up, and yeah, okay, so he is starting to just react. So it looks like what Tasbot is doing is he's completely switched all of his tier 1 to bombers, and he's now getting pure tier 2 out of his I like this. No, this is a very smart decision here from Tasbot. He's saying, I've got tier 2 Phoenix. I don't need hummingbirds. I mean, if his entire army is just hummingbirds or a tier 2 Phoenix, hummingbirds, what are those? Cannon fodder, exactly. You know, there's nothing that he's ever going to be able to do. Hello there, teleporter. I like seeing you because that probably indicates we're going to be seeing something like right here and a really big push into Tasbot's base. This has been a very relaxed game, I have to say. I mean, there has been some trading, to be fair, but neither one has been trading blows nearly as much as we saw with, like, Admiral General versus Kazipka, which is, again, the game I will probably be quoting for this entire match. So, of course, I absolutely highly recommend that if you want to see that, you go check out my YouTube channel or the stream replays later in the day. So, Phoenix are going to start chasing down this air army, and yeah, this air army has to get out of dodge. Ooh, but you don't want to roll in like that. Yeah, exactly. Phoenix can get overwhelmed, and as you can see, they do trade, but they can get out-traded as you all die. And just like that, all of Tasbot's Phoenix production is dead. He has nothing else to stop this anti-air, or this air army, which, again, he has to be very careful about this, because if he's not careful, he's just going to get wiped out. We do see a teleporter. Oh, goodness, where was it? There it is. So, not incredibly forward. I sort of wish it was. I was hoping for something like up here, or in this already, you know, pretty solid built base from Chrisj, but, you know, what are you going to do now? These bombers setting up in the base, the way that they're setting up sort of indicates that I think we're going to be seeing some sort of bomber run from Tasbot. The fact that they're all sitting here, nothing is being done to sort of like stop Chrisj from expanding. It sort of indicates that I think Tasbot's feeling a little bit pressured right now. He's feeling a little bit nervous. He's feeling a little bit gun shy. It doesn't look... Okay, hang on. All the units are now moving, so either we're going to see a comm snipe, or we're going to see him using this for aggression. I think we're going to be seeing a comm snipe. This is a lot, and I mean a lot of bombers. But that being said, though, if these all die, it's not too big of a deal to reproduce them, as obviously he's got like 4 air factories to kind of hold them tight. Oh, but what a right click. I have to say, what a beautiful right click. These bombers do not want to... they do not want to run into all those hummingbirds. Death and... Oh, goodness. Death and destruction to the undeserving. Yeah, Tasbot needs to reposition his Phoenix. That is not a lot of Phoenix, though, and that's the big thing. That is not a lot of Phoenix. These bombers are almost running practically naked in comparison to the units of Chrisj. The bomber's moving in, though. He's going to start looking for this commander. There isn't much to stop the anti-air here. He's looking. Oh my god, there is plenty of anti-air, though. Is it enough, though? The bombers are going to get at least one pass, and he gets him on the snipe. Tasbot with the boom firepower. He does pull it off, and Chrisj does fall, sadly, down once again. So congratulations to Tasbot for, I do believe, winning. Very late ping. Winning the filthy casuals I'm making of the casuals. Yes, Tasbot is officially confirmed the ultimate casual, as he does pull it off, and congratulations to him. Does it perfectly on the 12-minute mark, and that is exactly what he needed to do. So snipe was on point. I think if that game would have prolonged itself anymore, probably the air army or the ground army from Chrisj would have simply killed him. I mean, there's all of these units there. I mean, there's plenty of anti-air to keep it alive, and yeah, it probably would have been just one right click to death, but obviously he was just too slow. As I'm very surprised that Chrisj didn't chase this. Oh, he had vision? Oh, Chrisj. Oh, look at all that. And then I believe he accidentally scouted it too, a little bit earlier in the day, right? Oh, Chrisj, no, that's not what you do, friend. I do believe I'm fairly certain he saw it and then just didn't chase the air army. I mean, so he flies over here, and then, oh, he even gets the radar up on time. So he sees this, and then he sees all of these bombers. Look at all these bombers. I mean, even if I see those Phoenix, it would have been worth. It definitely would have been worth to just sacrifice the hummingbirds that you have to just mitigate all of those units. But how the mighty have fallen. So Tasbot is in first place from the looks of it. Then we have Chrisj in second, and Flub bringing up the rear in third. So congratulations to all those players. You are the winners. You guys have been, you are worthy to wear the title of casual. So congratulations to you guys. You have done great. And of course, let me give a quick shout out to all of the background workers, Andreas G and Proliert. They have done a fantastic job at hosting this tournament. I highly recommend, guys, if you want to see more of this, talk to Proliert, talk to Andreas. I mean, just kind of find some people, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I enjoyed this just as much as you guys hopefully did. And I mean, there will probably, hopefully, there will be another Filthy Casuals tournament which we can watch together. So thank you everyone for being here. I think that let's see, what else is there? Anything else that I need to say? Well, I mean, obviously all of my information is down below. Thank you, Andreas, for putting this together, and let's see, is there anything else? Of course, thank you all of you guys for being here. My name's Ghost. I do a lot of this kind of stuff once in a while. But other than that, I hope you guys have a good day, afternoon, good night. I will see all of you guys later, hopefully for another wonderful tournament, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. 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 I'll see all you guys later now. Goodbye.
Hey guys, it's Ghost here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like it, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and make sure to turn up that audio because we're about to kick it.